All right, I'm going to go ahead and put the top back on. Making sure that it snaps in there. All right, now let's do again a test. I don't know why that would make any difference. It doesn't make any difference. It's, the wire is broken. I guess I'm just going to have to take the truck off again. Take another look at it after I take the truck off. All right, so I've determined that I needed to tear it apart again, and when I did, the wire that I had soldered and that you saw me solder did not solder. So again, these kind of things happen, and sometimes you have to do it over and over again, but it's got to be done right. Else might as well not even do it at all. But here we go. I'm going to go ahead and put my pin through the hole again, unsoldering whatever's left on there. This had melted off of the truck. When I say melted off, I mean that the plastic pins that they had melted to hold this on had come dislodged. And this is not holding this very well either, but I'm going to eventually get it working. All right, so you can see this. I've chosen a different wire. The wire that was on there was a different gauge, and I'm thinking that might have contributed to it. Why was there a different gauge? I don't know. Excuse me, but I picked a wire out now that is the same gauge as the wire that's on the other side. So we're gonna clamp this, try to do a better clamping job here so that I can solder this easier or better. I've taken the whole truck out, and there you can see the hole. I'm taking the whole truck out, and so I can put the shrink tube on top of that when I have to. I'm going to do this just like this where I can see it. You and I can both see it. Again, trying to make a good mechanical connection. Evidently didn't have either last time. Solder. What did I do with my solder? What's up here? Okay. Well, and yeah, that may be part of the problem. This is a fairly substantial piece of metal, so I'm going to put it up to 750 C or F, and now I've got it clamped in here, and it's not a part of the plastic, and I'm not worried about melting the plastic. I can go ahead and put some heat to it. All right. Let's make sure we get some rosin on it. There you go. It's in there pretty good. Again, if you want to make sure that everything's right, you got to test it. So let's get us a little wire here at the top. Turn on our continuity meter. Test for continuity. Ready? Finally. Well, I say finally, but we got to button it all up again now. All right, let's get a piece of shrink. I'm not going to use as big of a piece as I did last time. I'm looking at the other side over here, and they just used just a little piece of it. I'm actually going to cut this off a little bit more. Not even sure why they put shrink on there at all. It's not metal to metal in any way, shape, or form. So, but we're going to put shrink on there. Maybe the shrink was another way to hold it mechanically. Again, if that was its intent, it failed. I can't even get that piece of shrink on there. Why can't I get that on there? Because it's got a little bump on the bottom. Okay, we're going to take this and we're going to squeeze and squeeze. Let's see if we can't get the shrink tube on there. Come on, come on, come on. Well, so I go to the next size because I can. Like I said, it doesn't really need shrink tube on it at all, but just to give it some mechanical stability. Okay, that's good. Looks like it's got a little bit too much on it though. Hold on. Just to make it perfect. All right. Now let's use the gun on it. And again, because we don't have plastic, we can get it hot, get it shrunk down to where it needs to be. Oh yeah. That shrunk really good. All right, now it's probably too hot for me to touch here. Let it cool off a little bit. And it goes this way because it goes towards the inside. And you can see the two pins that I was talking about that where they heated them over. And because they heated them over and this kind of snapped out of there, I need to clean them out or move them up a little bit so I can get the metal piece back on there like it's supposed to be. See if that'll work. Oh yeah, so that came in there. It kind of fell in there pretty well. There it is. It snapped in. And I can do like they did. They just use a soldering iron or something like that, and they just touch this plastic here and melt it. That's all they do. And I've turned the soldering iron off, but it's still warm enough that it'll soften that plastic up and hold it in. There you go. Alrighty then. You betcha. Okay, now let's put it on here like this. Oop. Gotta get over here where you can see it, I guess. So put that on there like that. Make sure that the axles are in the holes as we squeeze it together. Ends of the axles are in the hole here, and finally there. Okay, squeezing it like that. All right. Again, test. All right. Finally, okay. Test. Yeah, kind of there, sort of. Yeah, I don't like that at all. So I'm going to take this one off and maybe have to solder that one too. Wow. Oh, it's not even soldered in there. It's got a blob of solder on the bottom. No wonder this isn't working well. Somebody was having a bad day when they designed this. All right. Turning the soldering iron back on. High heat. See if we can clamp it so we don't destroy the plastic. Or do I just take it out like I did the other one? Okay, can you see that? Right. Waiting for the soldering iron to come up to temperature. Did you notice the last break I put some WD-40 on the chair. I got going here. It's caught. Got the soldering iron caught in a drawer. There we go. All right, now let's see if we got good continuity here. Good. Good deal. I'm going to put another piece of shrink tube on that. like that. Go ahead and shrink that down. Pointing it away from the plastic. Okay. Test, test, test. All right. Put up our helping hands. Put our... Well, it's hot. It's hot. Mm-hmm. Put it in the truck. Come on. Get in there. Make sure that the ends of the wheels get into the holes in the pickup bar. All right, there's one. There's the other. Okay, now test, test, test. And people wonder why. And notice a lot of this had to do with just a manufacturing defect, right? Okay, now try the other one. Okay. Now, let's see. We're going to put it back in the frame. All right. So we put it in the frame like, whoop. We're going to run the wires up through the hole. Okay, like that. We put it in the frame like that. Okay. We put the worm back on. Okay. Make sure we connect it up. It snaps into the like that. Make sure that we put these two pieces in like they're supposed to be. One like that. These are the sintered brass bushings for the worm and for the tower, they call this sometimes. You're going to buy one, you buy a tower. We need the cap that goes over top of this, and here it is over here to the side. It got away from us. Okay, I'm going to put the cap on. Make sure that this goes. Oftentimes there's a right there. Right, I don't know if you saw that or not, but it kind of snapped in place. There was a hole in the bottom where the pivot was. Don't want to catch the wires in this. Lots of little things we gotta pay attention to when you're putting these engines back together again. Okay, got that part in there. Got that part in there. Now we're ready for this weight thing. Notice it's got little indentations that push down on the wire. Okay, so this one goes into this side like this. Have to thread these through the holes. Okay, goes through like that. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. This one goes on the other side. Pushing, 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 pushing. There it goes through. All right, now we're going to lay this down. And as we do this, we want to make sure that the wires are in the holes, or in the trough that they're supposed to be in. This goes all the way back here. This goes in this trough right here. And this wire on this side has not been bent. I mean, it's a new wire, so it doesn't have a memory about where it's supposed to go here. So we're going to have to help a little bit. All right, this other one's got a kind of a memory, but it's we've moved it a little bit. Yeah, holding it on the front. Right, I'm gonna pull back and forth a little bit on these guys to see if they're gonna stay. Pull the front piece out. Make sure that it's gonna be have enough play in it so that the truck can move side to side, right, this way. It's got to have enough play in there to do that. All right. I'm going to put some screws in, I think. Whew. And all because there was a wire off. Huh? All right, now before we put this back in, what are we gonna do? We're gonna test it. Test. All right, here we go. Wheel and wire. Very good. Got something. I heard it go crackle, crackle. That's good enough. And this side, wheel, and yes. Okay, good. All right. Finally, we've got connectivity on both wheel sets. Whew. What an ordeal. Okay, we're going to go ahead and before we put the decoder in now, let's see, do we need to do that? No, we can go ahead and put the decoder, kind of snap it in place, all right? And then we're going to hook these up to the decoder. Now, this is the one that's coming from the new one, right? So I didn't have it, it's not cut to length, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it to length there. I'm going to allow just a little bit on it. And we're going to then put an end on there. And the soldering iron's hot. And this has just been such a royal pain. I'm going to go ahead and solder these in here, rather than depend upon those little plastic clips. Well, it's becoming a pain just to get it up in there. There it comes. There he is. There's one. Okay. Yeah. Alrighty, test. Turn on the machine. All right, test from here down to this wheel. See there? All right, test from here to this wheel. All right, what's the other test? wheel to wheel. Okay, on that side, wheel to wheel on this side. Success! Yay! Finally. All right, now we can button this baby up. Let's make sure we got all of our wires in there like we want. Okay. Make sure this wire doesn't peek out of there. There we go. Checking on the other side. There you go. Going to put the cap on the bottom of the truck. Try to. What's wrong here? Going to make sure that all four of those are set. So both sides here, right? Both sides here. Set in there nice. Okay. Test again. You say, what did you do? No, I didn't do anything, but that's beside the point. Right? Good. Good. All right. And again, we're going to want to add a little bit of conductor lube when we get the other side. All right, now we're kind of there, kind of, sort of, kind of. All right, we've got some issues here that we need to resolve. Some top pieces that may or may not have come off. We got an antenna here. Windshield wipers on. That's good. Good. That looks like factory issue. The windshield wiper doesn't look like it's. Looks like it's kind of at an angle here. I don't know if you can see that or not. Yeah, doesn't look like it's in the hole where it's supposed to be. Let me see if I can find out where the hole is. Oh, it's all the way up there. Okay. So, you know, little things like this just bug the living daylights out of me. I was going to say something else, but, you know, this is a manufacturing defect right there where it was just kind of laying on there, right? It didn't actually go in the hole that it was supposed to go in. So I'm going to go ahead and figure out where that goes. It looks like I have an antenna, but I don't think it goes to this one. Not quite sure if that was something that was part of this or part of another locomotive. But it certainly is not here because here's the antennas on this one. I don't see any other spot for it. Okay, I'm going to assume it was to something else. We've got some extra little pieces here. All right, now it's time to put some couplers on it. We're going to get rid of those couplers. We're going to put some good KD 148s on there. We get two of those, and then these are metal couplers instead of the plastic ones that were on it. All right, and here's the cover for that. And we're going to go ahead and set that up, get it ready to go. Like this and like that. Serious? Well, okay then. There you go. It's kind of cool. Kind of cool. All right, and then we're going to put that in the front. Like this. And as we do, one of the issues with coupler pockets like this, maybe not this one, but like this, is that the actual plastic piece, so I'm going to look real close at this, at the top. See if I can actually see this. Yeah, so here's the lift lever right there. Right there's the lift lever for the coupler, and the coupler pocket's got a piece at the top of it that has to go, should go under that. Okay, and we got all kinds of stuff going on here. We got hoses, and this comes in like 6 pieces and all that stuff. So we're going to kind of push that in there and make sure that it goes under the coupler lift bar. And we got something going on here. There we go. I don't know if you saw that or not, but kind of the biggest issue is focus, isn't it? Okay. Got that in there. Now we'll get the coupler on there. Coupler and the bottom piece are kind of flapping here. Wow. Who would have thought doing something as simple as putting a coupler on was going to be this difficult? The camera's a little bit in my way here, so if I'm going off camera, it's because I'm trying to see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, did you see that kind of pop in there? Wow. All right, now, gotta get the screw down in there. Ah. And you've seen me do this before, which is use the putty. Use this tacky putty now. All right. Get the screw, right? Put it on the end of the tacky putty like this, right? Now we can go ahead and put it down in there. Wow, one. I think I'm going to have to take a shower after this. Wow. Okay, this is the second one. And again, if I've learned anything, it's like, you know, put this piece in first. Put the top piece in first, right? It's already under that. That's good. Okay. Now we're going to take our coupler, right? We're going to kind of lay it up in there. Then we're going to take the top piece here. Definitely take the screw out of it because we're going to need the screw second. This is the one that didn't come out all the way. Come on. And we're going to go ahead and put that on the screwdriver with the tacky stuff. Get it ready to put in there when we get everything set up. All right. Now this guy goes down. The pin or collar goes down like this, right? It goes through this hole. And I might as well get that in there first, because that was a problem last time. Maybe it's easier coming from the back. Wow. Never had this kind of problem getting a coupler in. Well, guess what? Just fell in from the back. All right. Now let's go ahead and put the coupler. Again, it has to go underneath that. So it's kind of twist the coupler a little bit. Wow, who knew, huh? Take my tacky stuff out. Now, what do we do next? Well, we test the couplers for height, make sure that they're okay. Get it focused down in there. So we take a piece of track and take a couple of height gauges, and that's probably not going to be a problem, but never can tell. So we do this and this, and we check like this, and we say, yep, not only is the height correct, but the uncoupling gauge is correct. So we're looking for, does this pin clear this piece down here? And the answer is, well, not quite. It's just, it may be because that's not sitting down. Make sure it's sitting down there, right? And it just is at the very top of that, which is good. And that the two of these are at the top. Now this is a number 5, right? And this is a number 58. So we got a gauge. When you buy these gauges, they say you can put one or the other. Well, I've got one that's 5 and one that's 58, right? So I can test it out, right? And again, that clears that. And the number 5, this should be exactly at the top, right there. These two should be very, very, very top. And that's right. All right, I'm going to lift the gauge up and put it on the other side rather than move the engine. All right. And test it over on this side. And again, just perfect. Just perfect. Everything's just perfect on it. All right. We should put it on the layout and test. Make sure that it's working well. We got some little gingerbread things that we said that we had to fix. One of them is like right here. What did I do with my pair of tweezers? They were right over here. They are. Set of tweezers, right? So we can fix the handrails. there, 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 okay? And ordinarily I would glue those in, right? This is a brand new engine. We shouldn't have any problem with that. What happened to my windshield wiper? Okay, got to look for my windshield wiper that I'm missing. Handrail here. All right, so we're done here. I get my windshield wiper and get it put on. Maybe more difficult than it sounds, but we'll get it. Here it is. Here's my windshield wiper. I don't know if you saw that or not, but tough to do that, and I'll just have my head in the way. Anyways, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.